بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم ألهمنا مراشد أمورنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، ما أصاب من مصيبة. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام: عجبا لأمر المؤمن إن أمره كله له خير وليس ذلك إلا للمؤمن، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala has made this world that it is a reflection, it's an introduction, it is the farm in which someone can cultivate for the year after. But this world in no way was ever meant to be paradise itself. If in this world you were going to find plants, roses, you were also going to find thorns. If there was going to be one house where everyone is smiling and happy, at that same day there would definitely be another house where people were crying. If one person was entering the world and they were having an aqiqah, at that same time somebody else was departing from this world and they were mourning. It has been made a collection of good and bad, of happy and sad. Allah Ta'ala made this world that there were going to be more than enough thorns. And every time the individual was going to be pricked with a thorn, depending on who the individual was. If it was a disbeliever, then every thorn would go deep, deep into the body. It would cause him to scream. It would cause him to forget every enjoyment before this. It would make him angry with Almighty Allah. It would put him in a depression. He would find no recourse except to tablets, to psychiatrists. When he would find every door closed, he would find the best option for him would be suicide. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, before the final day, the hour will not come until you will pass by a graveyard and you will see a man rolling on the dust, rolling on the sand at the grave. And you will ask him, what is wrong with you? And he will say, Ya layta kuntu makana sahibi hadha. How I wish I could be dead. How I wish I could be in this man's place. Searching for death, they would then take tablets, overdose. They would put a gun to their own head. Where some people in the world will be scared, somebody else must not kill me. But what a unique world this is, that when it stabbed that very individual, for 10 years he lived worried, I must not be killed by somebody else. 10 years later, he wants to kill himself. He wants to kill himself. This world was a collection of evil and good, of problems and happiness. It was a world where you were going to cry one day and you had to smile another. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after describing this world in great detail, the sentence of his, however, where he said, "Ajaban li amri al-mu'min." But indeed the condition of a believer, Iman is different. We all know, me and you, we say we are Muslim. That is called Islam. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not speaking of a Muslim. He was said, indeed amazing is the condition of a mu'min. Mu'min comes from the word believe. The one who has really strong belief is called mu'min. The one who has the outside picture of Islam is called Muslim. He said, amazing is the condition of the one who believes, the one who understands. What does he understand? And that's what we will be discussing now. That individual where somebody else will cry in the very calamity of somebody else. If it had to be brought upon this individual, you could find him smiling. One of the hardest exams that Allah Tabarak Ta'ala ever left in this world, one of the most difficult exams, was going to be the exam that a person would go through with regards to their own children. So I will speak about this for a few minutes. Perhaps this is the hardest man or woman will ever see. The child passed away just after coming. There was a miscarriage. The child was not yet baligh. He was just going to reach his date. He was just going to be getting married. Allah took away my child from me at what a time. I only enjoyed him for a few years. The pain that a parent goes through on losing a child is something that no one needs to explain. A woman was crying at the grave. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came behind her and he said, be patient. She did not know who was behind. So she said, إِنَّكَ لَن تُصَبْ بِمُصِيبَتِي. You are not going through what I am going through. It's very easy for you to talk. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not say anything further. Because when a person is in a difficult condition, the only real tasalli is when the person wants itself, herself or himself to take from Quran and Sunnah. It cannot be forced upon a person. Be comfortable, take it easy. Allama ibn Rajab al-Hanbali rahimullah, who passed away in about the year 795 Hijri, so about 600 years ago, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala inspired him to write a kitab which was called Tasliyatu Nufusin Nisa wal Rijal. That I want to give some consolement, I want to give some words of encouragement in the faqdil atfal. That if a woman, a man have lost their child, I would like to speak to them and say to them something. That how you will look at this calamity of yours if you had to put on the glasses of Islam, the glasses of Iman, compared to the one who has lost a child but they don't have that glass. They don't have that spectacle. The one who has blessed with some knowledge of Quran and Sunnah. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, in asabathu sarra, if that person comes onto this level of Iman, when good conditions will come, shakara, you will find him and her thanking Allah. فَكَانَ خَيْرَ اللَّهِ, that will be best. وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ دَرَّا, but when difficult conditions will come, sabara, then also you will find them unique in their patience. It is the sabr that Allah Tabarak Ta'ala has spoken about in Quran. When the people of paradise will be shown. Today when someone says, I'm going for Umrah, one of the first questions is, where are you staying? Which hotel? What floor? Because it's understood the more comforts are according to the more stars of the hotel. There is another world coming where there will also be these hotels. أُولَٰئِكَ يُجْزَوْنَ الْغُرْفَةَ بِمَا صَبَرُوا. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, there will be those who we will be giving them the highest, the best of the rooms. Al-Ghurfa. Whatever you call it in that hotel. And they say, this is the top class, this is the best room, this is the best apartment. But oh South African, don't even ask about it. This doesn't fit for you. You're sitting with your hands. This is for the people of dollars and pounds. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, on that day there will be al-ghurfa. There will be the room. يُجْزَوْنَ الْغُرْفَةَ بِمَا صَبَرُوا. On account of patience in this world, we will allow them to occupy al-ghurfa, the best of apartments. وَيُلَقَّوْنَ فِيهَا تَحِيَّةً وَسَلَامًا. Salams will be made to them to say, you saw difficulty in this world. You will now never have to see difficulty after. وَجَزَاهُمْ بِمَا صَبَرُوا جَنَّةً وَحَرِيرًا. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, gardens, garments of silk. One verse Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, after the people of Jannah in surprise will ask, that on account of what have you given all of this to us? Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, وَكَانَ سَعْيُهُمْ مَشْكُورًا. That their every effort that they made in this world, their every cry, their every tear, their every difficulty, everything was appreciated by Allah. Whether the individual is in difficulty because of something within its own body, whether it got to do with something regarding to wealth, whether it got to do with a issue between a husband and a wife. This is a world where there's a lot of thorns. How we would love our garden to look, it doesn't always look like that. Weeds come at places we never wanted it to come. But the world's gardens have taught the message. No matter how much time you can spend on the gardens of this world and our lives in this world are prone to weeds. It is a garden for a few days. It is a garden of imtihanat. It is a garden of tests. If an individual can manage this test, and as I mentioned, perhaps one of the hardest tests is a test that someone can find in their own children. Love of the child is something Allah blessed every individual with. حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ وَالْبَنِينَ. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, man has been given this unique love. He has been given a unique attachment to his children. الْمَالُ وَالْبَنُونَ زِينَةُ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. His attachment is with wealth. You take it away from him, it's like a pin. It's like a needle has gone in his body. It has settled in deep and someone is now pulling it out. His attachment with his children will be the same. When a man himself, he got so much of relation with his own child, what will be the attachment of a woman? But Islam has shown that even that high level of exam, when a person was blessed with the gift of Iman, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala was going to test. Nabi Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam boards the ship. He sees his entire family coming with him. But his one son, Ya Bunayya Arkam Ma'ana. He says, oh my son, what are you doing on the other side? Get onto the ship, وَلَا تَكُمْ مَعَ الْكَافِرِينَ. His son says, oh my father, Sa'awi ila Jabal. I am just going to go to the top of the mountain. Nabi Nuh alayhi salam was not aware that the son of his was a disbeliever. He was a munafiq. He had disbelief in his heart. He had shown his father, I am with you. But when that wave came between Nuh alayhi salam and his son, what went through his heart at that time where he said, Rabbi inna bani min ahli, that Allah, you promised me you will save my family, this is also mine. Wa inna wa'daka al-haq, what has happened? You will feel that cry of Nuh alayhi salam if someone loses their own child. Right in front of you the child is, and the doctor says, I don't think the child is going to make it. As soon as Almighty Allah revealed to Nuh alayhi salam that this child is not yours. He did not have Iman. Nabi Nuh alayhi salam said, Allah, I ask your forgiveness. I will never ask regarding this again. How much of sabr he had to have at that time. One is he lost his son in front of his eye. One is he understood that forget in this world, that child of his will remain in the fire forever and ever and ever. But even that, they were blessed with that level of sabr, patience, that if my Allah wanted it like this, then this is how it's going to be. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, once a child for so many years, at the age of plus 90, he is blessed with Ismail alayhi salam. When the boy is running with the father, moving around with the father, Ibrahim alayhi salam sees a dream. Ya bunayya inni ara fil manam. Oh my beloved child, I have seen in the dream, I have to slaughter you. Can you understand what it was for Ibrahim alayhi salam? He did not know in the last second an animal will come. What a level they were blessed with. That if I had to lose my child in this world, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says about the exam of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Inna hadha lahu al-bala'ul mubin. Indeed, this was a very, very great exam. What message was given in this verse? Losing your child is also an exam similar to the exam of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And that believing woman or believing man, if they can pull through this exam, then how Ibrahim alayhi salam scored high points, that individual in this world will also score very high. Nabi Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, the apple of his eye was Yusuf alayhi salam. And we all know when the brothers said, let him come with us, Yaqub alayhi salam said, I fear a wolf will eat him. What he meant is, I fear you brothers will not let him come back to me. And how he lost his son after that. How many years Yaqub alayhi salam had to cry for his son after that. But what was that thing that gave them strength? When he said, Innama ashku bathi wa huzni ilallah. I will continue crying to my Allah. It was this level of Iman. That if I can't get my child back even in this world, then I know for every tear Allah is giving me one palace in the next world. It was on the basis of this that this great alim Ibn Rajab Hanbali wrote a few ahadith, speaking to that mother and father who lost the child. What I will say now, may Allah make it beneficial to whoever has gone through this exam. Whoever has lost a child at whatever age, whether it was a miscarriage or after. And while explaining it at the same time, it will be explained or understood that just like how this major, very difficult exam, everything has been brought to give a believer points. Every other exam is the same. In this world of exams, no matter what the exam is, if a believer has allowed himself or herself to drink from the pond of Iman, they will find every condition will be the best condition. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the woman of Medina Munawwara asked, that can you not take out some time to come and speak to us like how you speak to the men? It was perhaps the first khas bayan that was given to the woman, what we'll call masturat. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they gathered perhaps at his house or one of the others, one of the houses of his wives, or perhaps another. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the appointed time then went to the house. He gave advice in that first bayan that was given, which was specific for the woman. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ma minkum imra'atun تقدم ثلاثة من ولدها لم يبلغ الحنث. There will be no woman who has already sent 3 of her children in front. 3 such children which have never reached the age of sinning, meaning they have not yet reached maturity. She never lose 1, she never lose 2, she lost 3. For the people of the world, that will be the height of depression. For the people of Iman, even losing 3 children, إِلَّا كَانَ لَهَا حِجَابًا مِنَ النَّارِ. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this woman, between her and the fire of Jahannam, her children will create a barrier that will never be broken. فَقَالَتْ إِمْرَأَةٌ, a woman stood up, and she said, what about 2? Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, why not even 2? Another time while discussing it, a Sahabi radiallahu anh said, oh Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I lost 1 child. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, why not even 1 child? As long as the individual is patient on the calamity. With regards to the great virtues that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam then discussed, the people of Iman who read these, who pondered over it, they were blessed with such high levels of Iman that if you had to visit their house when they had lost a child, where you would find the father or mother crying on the one side, you would find them at the same time also smiling. What would make them smile at the time of such a major calamity? You lost your child. That smile was because through the blessings of knowledge, they had allowed their eye to be able to be looking into another world. They were able to see into paradise. They were able to see whatever Islam had promised. When someone would say to them, are you not missing your child? They could give the answer that why should I not? I love my child. But what is preventing me crying is that I know at the present moment my son is in so much of enjoyment, my daughter. Arwahu waladan, arwahu wildan al-mu'minin. The souls of the young, of the children of the believers, fi ajwafi asafir. Their souls have entered into the inside of what we will call like sparrows. تَسْرَحُ فِي الْجَنَّةِ حَيْثُ شَاءَ. They are moving around, flying around in paradise wherever they wish. فَتَأْتِي إِلَىٰ قَنَادِيلْ مُعَلَّقَ مِنَ الْعَرْشِ. They are those lanterns hanging from the arsh of Almighty Allah. They are flying right to those lanterns. Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anh mentioned this. The person who was blessed with this iman, blessed with this knowledge will say, my child always loved gardens. My child always loved flying in the air. My child always loved to be very high and looking at enjoyable things. In this world, no matter where I took him, it could never satisfy that desire. But at least today I know that he is now being able to fly wherever he wants, whenever he wants, without any fear of falling, without any fear of dying, and he will continue flying and enjoying until the day will come when I will meet him again. It will be this iman that makes the difficulty easy. A Sahabi radiallahu anh, a man came to Abu Huraira radiallahu anh and he said that I have lost a child. So can you not say to me something which you heard from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam which can make me smile? Abu Huraira radiallahu anh laughed and he said, why not? He said, let me tell you about your child and the children of the believers. صِغَارُهُمْ دَعَامِيسُ الْجَنَّةِ. The amis, it's like what we will call like a tadpole. You go in the rivers, you see in the waters those small, like small babies, small frogs. and they don't ever want to come out of the water. One is they enjoy playing so much. They have no worry, I have to get food for my family. And they don't want to come out because their mothers fear if you come out something else will grab you. As they remain in the water, jumping and enjoying, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said that what Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned to us is the small children of the people of Iman, they are like those tadpoles in paradise. They are enjoying the swimming in Jannah. How that fish is moving side to side, place to place. They are also moving. He says, a day will come, يَتَلَقَّى أَحَدُهُمْ أَبَا أَوْ قَالَ أَبَوَيْهِ. The day will come where they will meet their parents. فَيَأْخُذُ بِثَوْبِهِ أَوْ قَالَ بِيَدِهِ. Then the child will grab the clothing of his parents. Parent or parents. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh then grabbed the person's cloth. And he said, like how I am holding onto your cloth. فَلَا يَتَنَاهَا. Then the mother and the child, the father and the child, they will not separate. حَتَّى يُدْخِلَهُ اللَّهُ وَإِيَّاهُ الْجَنَّةِ. Until Allah will enter both of them in paradise. The one who was blessed with this iman to be able to see that, even at a time of losing a child, Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, it will be said to these children who will be there already, that why don't you all enter into the gardens of enjoyment? And these children will say, حَتَّى يَدْخُلَ أَبَاؤُنَا فِي آبَاؤُنَا. It will be said, how can we enter? We will not enter until our parents don't come with us. It will then be said to them, أُدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةَ أَنْتُمْ وَآبَاؤُكُمْ. Okay, you and your parents, why don't you all go and enjoy? Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, when there is a miscarriage, he said, Inna siqt, the child that was miscarriage, that fetus, la yajurru ummahu, he will pull his mother. How that child with that cord is connected to the mother. He said with that very cord which was the link between him and his mother, he will use that very cord and he will put it on his mother, around his mother, however he will do it. And using that day, he will rope his mother in until he brings her right into paradise. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said on one condition, إِذَا إِحْتَسَبْتِ. As long as when you are going through this difficulty, your mind is that Allah has not given any difficulty except that Allah will also give a reward for it. The mind has to be that this world, whatever is hard today will become sweet tomorrow. It was on account of this that there were those people in the ummah. When it was found that a child in their house had passed away, there was a muhaddis of the era. He lost his child just before the child reached the age of bulugh, maturity. The child had already become a hafiz of Quran because his father was a great mufassir and faqih. The child had already become a jurist. He was like the star of the locality. And just before becoming baligh, mature, he passes away. The people gather in the house and they find that the father, while he is also sad, he is also smiling. They ask him, how can you smile at such an occasion? So he mentions to them that many years ago I had a dream in which I saw myself and many others. It was the plains of the day of Qiyamah, we were all running around. He said, then I saw young boys with goblets. They were giving certain people to drink, and I found as they drank it, all their tiredness disappeared. He said, I also went behind some and I said, He said, I noticed some were my nephews. So I went up to them and said, your uncle, give your uncle something. He said, and they looked at me, they said, you are our uncle, but you are not our father. He said, I woke up. I understood what the dream meant. That if you want someone to be giving you something to drink in that world, then you will have to send someone ahead to prepare for you for that world. That boy said, you are our uncle, but you're not our father. We only give our parents. He said, from the time I woke up, the desire was in me that Allah, in your kindness, if you can allow one of my children before maturity, if they can go ahead of me. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam saw a Sahabi radiallahu anh said, he said, what is wrong? He said, do you not remember when I would come to you? Then there would always be a child with me. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I remember. He said, I lost my child. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to him, Ayasurruk. What would make you more happier? That your child is brought in front of you again? Or يَتَلَقَّاكَ مِنْ أَبْوَابِ الْجَنَّةِ بِالْكَأْسِ. He remains waiting for you. And when you will reach the door of paradise, you will find him with a glass. The Sahabi looked up and he says, مَنْ لِي بِذَلِكَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. That who will give me this guarantee my child will be there for me? Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Allah will give the guarantee. You don't have to worry how your child is going to get there. The child is going to get there. A Sahabi radiallahu anh said, is this only for him? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, لِكُلِّ مُسْلِمٍ مَاتَ لَهُ وَلَدٌ فِي الْإِسْلَامِ. Every believer that has lost a child, he will find that the child will be waiting for him. At whichever door of Jannah he reaches, it will be the child there, waiting to say, oh my father, here is something to drink, and now let me take you into paradise. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not only speak words, he gave a practical example. In his own life, how many of his children he lost? At the ending, when Allah's Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away, it was only Fatima radiallahu anha who was alive. In his own life, he saw his daughters. And as for his sons, they did not even reach the age of maturity. One child in which he had so much of hope was Ibrahim. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam would go to the house of the mother of Ibrahim. It was not so close to Masjid Nabawi. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam daily would go to the house just to see his beloved Ibrahim. And then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to the time where he finds that Ibrahim is not breathing well. The word that Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned at that occasion is something for every mother, every father to keep in their hearts. And if ever a time comes when individual has to be tested with the loss of their beloved, then they should try to think of these words. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam first goes to the house. He would explain to Sahaba radiallahu anh, and he would say, Ibrahim, the son of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he has passed away before his time of breastfeeding has even come to an end. He said, but don't worry, inna lahu murdi'an fil jannah, that Allah has made arrangements that there will be those who will be breastfeeding him until he reaches his end. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then said these words. He said, Tadma'ul ayn, indeed tears are coming out from my eyes. وَيَحْزُنُ الْقَلْبِ, my heart is filled with a lot of grief. وَلَا نَقُولُ إِلَّا مَا يَرْضَى الرَّبُّ. But we will never say except that which makes Allah happy. Again, he says, tears are flowing from the eyes. The heart is full of grief. But we will never say except that which makes Allah happy. He said, Allah's oath, Ya Ibrahim, inna bika lamahzunun. That, oh Ibrahim, perhaps you don't know how much your father is missing you. I am filled with grief. Filled with grief. But the question was, then why were you not showing it so much? Why were you not screaming? Why were you not going in depression? Why were you not going silent for so many days? How could it be your beloved child, or brother, or sister, or mother, or father has passed away? Your most beloved has passed away. And you're not showing. You're behaving still normal. You are not showing extreme grief. Why are you not gone in a depression? Why are you not saying, my husband passed away? We did everything together. From today I cannot live. Why was Aisha radiallahu anha able, after losing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how come she did not go in depression? How was she in the next day able to stand up and continue life? Why did Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam not go in a depression? He waited so long to have a male child. When that dream was there, the child was born, and now the child is being snatched out of his hands. Why is there no depression with the people of Iman? Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam then said those most unique words. He said, وَلَوْلَا أَنَّهُ أَمْرُ حَقٍّ. Had this not been a matter which was decided by Allah. وَلَوْلَا أَنَّهُ أَمْرُ حَقٍّ. Had this not been a matter that was decided by the truth. وَوَعْدِ صِدْقٍ. And had there been no truthful promise behind this calamity, a promise of paradise for the parents, a promise of Jannah for the child immediately, a promise of meeting tomorrow. وَلَوْلَا أَنَّهُ أَمْرُ حَقٍّ. Had this not been a matter already decided by Allah. وَوَعْدِ صِدْقٍ. Had this not been a promise which was made by Allah and we know it's the truth. وَأَنَّهَا سَبِيلُ مَعْتِيَةٍ. Had this not been a path which we had to cross. وَأَنَّ آخِرَنَا سَيَلْحَقُ بِأَوَّلِنَا. And had it not been that we were told the ones who are still in this world are very soon going to meet with the ones who are already gone. Had all of this not been there, لَحُزْنَا عَلَيْكَ حُزْنًا هُوَ أَشَدُّ مِنْ هَذَا. He said, oh Ibrahim, then you would have seen how much we are missing you. But because all of these promises are in place, I am seeing you with your breastfeeding mother. I am seeing you in the gardens of paradise. I am seeing that one day I am going to meet up with you. I am seeing you will never have to go through the tests of this world. That is why I am not showing so much grief upon your death. This was a lesson for every person who has lost someone. Had it not been a matter decided, had it not been that we were told, very soon the ones who are here are going to meet the ones who are there. Had it not been that a promise had been given, a promise that the one there is already in enjoyment, in enjoyments that the one in this world can never imagine, then we could have had a chance to cry and scream. We could have had a chance to say, I cannot live after today. I cannot stand up on my own. I don't want to now go in the kitchen. I can never ever look in this room. Had all of this not been there. But when it was all there, then it is the demand of Iman that the individual who has been tested with the hardest of tests, amongst which is to lose one's child, because of what we know that is coming, even the hardest of difficulties will then become easy. May Allah Tabarak Ta'ala in His utmost kindness make us amongst those which Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Ajaban li amri al-mu'min, how amazed I am at the condition of the person of Iman. May Allah Tabarak Ta'ala make me and make all of you from the people of Iman. Inna amrahu kullahu khair, whose every matter is only the best. When good conditions come, you find the individual smiling and happy. فَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُ, and in that they are just scoring points and going higher and higher in their paradise. وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ ضَرَّاء, and when those days come, where there is a loss in the family, then too sabara, you find the individual exercising patience. You find the patience of Yaqub alayhi salam. You find the patience of Ibrahim alayhi salam. You find the patience of Nuh alayhi salam. You find the patience of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You see the individual and you wonder, how come you are not so sad? Why can I not see you in a depression? And the answer is the same. Had there not been all those many promises from Allah, I would have not only been in depression, I perhaps would have committed suicide because of what I have gone through. But because there is what Allah has promised, then even the difficulty has now become easy. وَآخِرُ دَعْوَانَا أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.